to you. As far as, you're humble. What brings that about in yourself?
I think it's just because I stay true to myself. I don't have a big head. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I feel as though I'm sharing the gift that I've been given with other people, and that we're all going through the same thing. We all have stressful days at work and things. I make it a habit of not. I don't like to unload on people my problems. I like to be able to be kind of the lightness in someone's day, or just kind of just keep working.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does Joanne get away from the everyday things that goes on in Joanne's life?
Well, I wish I was closer to the beach, and that would be what I would
Okay.
do. But what I do seriously is I have a room in my house that I think most people call a home office. I call my thinking room.
Mm-hmm.
And I designed it myself. I painted it a beach house blue and made it very soothing, like I'm at the beach.
Oh, okay.
And when I go in there, it's my writing space. I can take a nap if I want.
Mm-hmm.
And that brings me a lot of peace to relax there and just sort of sort out and think about things in my day.
Mm. I know it has to be a true humbling feeling to be where you're at right now. When you look back in life, did you ever think you would be where you're at right now?
No, I don't. I've always envisioned I would be doing something. I put on my heels and a nice dress and I go out and I talk to people. That's sort of how I see myself. I couldn't have envisioned who I would meet and how it would happen, but I always have had a feeling that I was meant to do something great, and at whatever level that is. That doesn't mean Oprah level.
Correct.
It just means what's great for me, and so that I have had that drive my whole life.
Why not Oprah level? Why not?
Hey, it could be, but
Right.
I don't live like that. That's not my goal. My goal is to do good work, and fame and fortune or whatever will follow from that if you're living honestly and you're doing it for the right reasons. I just really believe in that, and was instilled in me from my family.
So when Joanne Spataro, when you get famous, will you change?
Will I change? Yes.
Will you change? How will you change?
I wear better clothes. No.
You look nice now.
Thank you. Will I change? I have thought of that. Like, what if I had $1 million and all that good stuff? There's only a few different things I would do. I might buy a better house. Might buy better food. I like to eat. And but I would have the same friends and same family to ground me, to be able to say, no, Joanne, that's not a good idea. It's so important to have people around you who say what the truth is, because that's the danger. If you get too famous or too popular, you're going to listen to your yes people.
Correct.
So I would work for that not to happen, and I would eat better food. So more food.
How does your friends, when they see you, especially when you talk about some of the events that you
Yeah.
attended, how do they look at you?
How do they look?
Going to a lot of these functions and all that and meeting all these individuals, how do you think they look at you now?
They will often say, "Oh, that's Joanne again," because they know that I'll just go out there and I'm like, "Hi, I met the Pope," and so you know what I mean.
Right.
And they love it. They think it's fun, and they support me. And that's not supporting yourself. Having supportive friends is so important. So they'll go, "Oh, there's Joanne again," just running around. And actually, I keep a blog and I have a Twitter at Look It's Joanne, and the reason I came up with at Look It's Joanne is that I feel like I'm all over the place, and my friends see that too. They'll be like, "Oh, Joanne's running off and doing something," so they're very supportive.
Okay, we got this Democratic National Convention coming up in September.
Yes.
How will this affect the arts in the Charlotte community?
I think it's going to be a great spotlight for them. I think now's the time for artists to start thinking about how they want to get involved, how the delegates on their off time, they may want to go visit some of our great museums, the Mint Museum, the Beckler. So it's time to put our community put their best foot forward and to show that we have a lot of talent here in Charlotte and that they should take a look at it.
And they will also return and tell their friends.
Yes.
And when they come from all over, across the country, the world.
Yeah, it's very powerful. It's a great time to be in Charlotte. It's whether you're a writer, an artist, whatever, it's a great time to showcase what we've always known, which is Charlotte's a great city.
How are you getting prepared for the Democratic National Convention?
Well, I'm just going to see what's out there art-wise, news-wise, and keep my eyes and ears open like I always do and see what opportunities come my way.
Where would you like to be?
Where would I like to be?
During that time frame. What's your ultimate positioning in the Democratic National Convention?
Hey, I'd love to be, in the thick of it, talking to people. And of course, I have strict orders from my mom that she wants to meet Chris Matthews. So if Chris Matthews from MSNBC shows up,
it's over, huh?
Yeah, I got to get him and say, you have to meet my mother. So I want to be in the mix. I want to be a part of it any way I can.
And you're going to be.
Thank you.
Because the way you are, Joanne, they can't do nothing about,
Thank
moving
you.
around.
Thank you so much.
Getting back with your parents and stuff, if you had one thing to say to them, what would you say?
One thing to say to them?
Yeah.
Well, we say a lot to each other. We have dinner every Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Because they actually live about 10 minutes away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I had just one thing to say to them, be I love you and thank you. I wouldn't be where I am without them.
No, they probably crying.
They're going to be crying.
And the thing about this is that they'll be able to look at this and see the sincerity on your face, because sometimes we don't get the opportunity to really tell our parents that we love them, and it's something that they really want to hear. That's the ultimate goal, to see their child being successful.
They always told me that the goal for me is always be happy. Do what makes you happy. Follow your bliss. And also have, make a couple bucks too, so you're not living in a cardboard box. But but that's their practicality.
Okay.
They're practical people, but they also want you to shoot for the stars and don't wait for someone to give you an opportunity. Make that opportunity for yourself. And I've been a firm believer in that.
Do you have some future project that you possibly working on?
Future projects, I'm always working on something. Possible book, still thinking about that. I will have more articles every Thursday in the Arts Alive section of the Charlotte Observer. So you can always find my pieces there for art patrons or for the 5 Qs, 5 questions with people. And I also write for the blog for Creative Loafing. So I'm always around.
You said the 5 Qs. What is that?
5 Qs, that's what I did with Scott Passetti. The questions about, I'll ask him 5 questions like, how did you get into your art form? What do you do with it? What's your audience like? Whatever pertains to what they do. And I've had a lot of interesting people, mixed media artists, dancers, actors, actresses. So it's a great column. So that's every Thursday, and then I write for Creative Loafing for their blog and any other news pieces. And then of course I have my own personal blog, Look It's Joanne, and I do that once a week as well.
To the people in the community who wants to get in writing, what type of advice would you give them?
I would tell them, first of all, don't listen to people saying writing is dead. Writing is not dead. It's just taking a different form now. It's no longer just sitting at a desk and writing and typing. It's now online. So what I would say to them is that if they have a dream, they want to do things, they should pursue it wholeheartedly. Don't wait for someone to give you that chance. Just go for it and write every day. At least an hour a day. It's very important.
Why is writing every day vital to them being possibly successful?
Writing, like any other skill, has to be nurtured every day. You know, you can't do, if you're trying to work out and be buff, you can't do weights once every 2 months and expect to be buff like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's not going to happen for you. But you'll be a good writer if you keep writing and also have someone read it. I have found you got to add that too, because you could be writing who knows what, and if you have someone telling you, hey, this is good, or hey, not sure about this, it's very important. So keeps that muscle alive. Yeah, keeps you sharp.
How does Joanne deal with the critics who may speak not only positive but maybe some negative? How do you deal with that?
Well, that's funny you say that, because when I wrote a news piece for the Creative Loafing blog, and you know, sometimes you get the people who don't agree with you
Correct.
always, but I know that's their opinion, and I know how I feel about things, so I usually let it kind of, you know, dust off my shoulder. Used to bother me maybe more when I was younger, but I've always had a strong sense of myself, and I try to be like, well, that's them. I know what I'm doing, and as long as I'm on the road to what I'm doing, then people can say what they want. And besides, when you have critics, that's when you know you're doing it right.
So that means they're reading your article,
Right.
and everybody has their opinion.
Absolutely, because writing is that dance between the author and the reader. When I approach a piece, I think, how's this going to help someone? How's this going to educate them? So if they get mad about it, well, that's fine.
Correct.
As long as you read it and you had an opinion about it, it made you think. And that's great right there.
We're running out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Joanne Spataro, Arts Alive from the Charlotte Observer every Thursday.
Every Thursday. And then Creative Loafing on a freelance basis. I'm on Twitter, look, it's Joanne, and I have a blog every week.
Thank you, artists, for watching the show, and you be encouraged. Thank you.